My name is Michael Jordan. I play professional basketball for the Chicago Bulls.
32 seconds to go. A 1-point lead for Georgetown. Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
If I had to trace my evolution, the Michael Jordan evolution, it always had to start back in college. Hitting a shot against Georgetown in 1982 when I really didn't know exactly what I was doing.
North Carolina has won the 1982 NCAA championship.
It awakened a person inside of me to excel, to compete, to excel, to be one of the best, or be the best. That drove me. And I guess with that shot, it kind of ignited a fire inside of me that nothing was going to stop me.
Cut it to one if they score. Jordan down the middle, all the way! Jordan to the hoop! Sends it out to Jordan down the lane, all the way! Basket! It's an effort by Jordan, who has it on the break, driving all the way in! Oh, he's got an unbelievable ball!
Greatness comes in all shapes and sizes. This man dominated the NBA when he played. He could fly through the air and everyone wanted to be like him. He achieved all kinds of levels of success. It's Michael Jordan.
You know, basketball is my love, always have been, and I can't ever, envision an ending of something like that. You know, that passion that I have for the game until I'm dead and gone. Until that's when it's, well, I could wait. I'm not in a rush.
What's triumph mean? What do you associate with triumph?
Winning. All the time, winning.
A good competitor always evaluates his opponent. And you understand for what he really is, but you never try to give him confidence. You try to take it at all times. And sometimes it's easier to take confidence and sometimes it's harder. But mentally, I gotta find a way, and sometimes you have to trick yourself.
And see if all that trash talking starts when it's 0-0 instead of 5-6 point lead. That's where it starts.
You have to look inside yourself and find the different types of challenges from game to game. You know, I look at who I'm playing against, look at some of the things that now I can focus and pull out to get me ready for the game. That's how I got myself motivated, but it wasn't the same every game. It was, I had to trick myself. I had to, more or less find a focus to go out and play at a certain level for whatever reason.
Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan.
How old were you when your father actually put a court in the backyard with a hoop? About 14, I read.
I was
Yeah.
about 14
So that
years
actually happened to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started baseball when I was 6, but I really didn't start basketball until I was 12.
Whoa. Did you have any idea somewhere in your cell, in your knee somewhere? Did you have any idea that it could be like this?
No.
No.
By no means. And if that was the case, if it was something that I probably was chasing, I would have never gotten it.
You've never gotten it. Because, a lot of kids think they're going to be like you.
That's the whole point. If you chase something, then sometimes you never get it. If you put forth the work and all the attitude, next thing you know, it's bestowed upon you.
Whoa.
My mental preparations for the game are very different than most. I try to relax myself. I'm a jokester, a prankster, if you want to say it that way. I listen to music, I joke around with the guys, I take my whole mind away from the game itself, and then when the time comes to focus on the game, I focus on my athletic skills and putting it together with the team, and somehow collectively going out and doing our jobs each and every day. I challenge myself to be the best basketball player every moment that I'm playing the game of basketball. And sometimes that means tricking yourself in your mind to say that you can't do this or your weaknesses are here, but yet you still try to work on improving those weaknesses. A lot of people may say, well, Michael Jordan never had weaknesses. Michael Jordan had weaknesses. He just had to dig deep inside himself to figure out what they were and challenge himself to improve those weaknesses. So mentally, I like to challenge myself to go out and play a perfect basketball game. Although I know you can't do that. It's practically impossible to play a perfect game, but that doesn't mean you can't challenge yourself to do that.
No matter what the game is, or who you're playing against, you have to want the ball, the clock, the pressure. You block all that out. all you think about is what you have to do to win. That's why I love the end of the game, because it comes down to that one moment when it's all in my hand.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Flight 23.
I don't always have to hit the last shot, but I do have to walk away knowing I did everything I could to win the game. When you step on the floor, it doesn't matter how many times you've done it before. All that matters is that you do it now. Those are the moments you put in the hours of practice for. Those are the ones you never forget.
When this series started, the two things they said about the Bulls were they were old and they were tired, which obviously had nothing to do with what was going to happen in the future.
Well, I mean, that's true. You know, we are old, and sure, we're tired. It's been a long season, but mentally, we have a vision, we have a finish that we have to attain. You know, and sometimes you have to do it when you're old and you're tired. You know, and I think it's the test of your will to succeed when you have to deal with, you know, some of these negatives. And I'm pretty sure, you know, by the end of this playoffs, you'll see the old and the tired people were very, very young and strong mentally.
You're hungry or you're full yet?
No, you feel yourself getting full because each time that you win, it takes away a little bit of that hunger, you know, which is a challenge within itself. You know, it's a battle within your mind to find a challenge to go to that same place that you've been 5 times before. You know, and that's hard. You know, when people say, "Well, the first one was the hardest," no, the last one's the hardest because you're battling with yourself.
Are you starting to feel satisfied at least? You know, as an athlete, are you feeling satisfied? Because I know at times that we've talked, you say you're still searching for that perfect game, still searching to find in your mind greatness as you describe it.
I'm getting better. I'm getting at my peak. I'm getting at my limit. Physically, I think I am at my limit. Mentally, it's a lot of empty space that I don't know much about, but I keep forcing myself to learn more about the game. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
This whole thing about you practicing. I mean, if you talk to any of your teammates, they would say, even if they saw something in the game, it's like, shoot, you should have saw him Thursday.
Tony, you know what? I got to scream at you all day.
To practice with you was like they had a game instead of a practice.
And when I got to the pros with Kevin Lockery, you know, when I was drafted number 3, Kevin Lockery used to put me on the starting 5. We used to be killing the second 5. But he wanted to test me out. So let's say we're going to 8, and it could be 5-1 or 5-2 against the second team. And if you lose, you got to run. He would switch me in the middle of the game to the second team. And I'm saying, well, okay, you trying to prove a point. Boom, we'll bounce back and win the game. Those are all training tools for me. And every day in practice was like that to me. It was a competition. So when the game comes, there's nothing that I haven't already practiced. It's a routine. You know, whatever happens in the game now, okay, I've done this before.
Jordan for the win. Got it! At the buzzer, he's done it again!
Was fear of failure a motivator?
I never feared about my skills, you know, because I put in the work.
Damn.
Put him away, MJ.
Work ethic eliminates fear.
Yes.
You know, so if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer in game.
As a member of the Chicago Bulls, the last shot.
What was that shot?
Game 6.
The Bulls can win it right here. The Bulls can win it. Unbelievable. 13 seconds left. Jordan left side.
I practice as if I'm playing in a game. So when the moment comes in the game, it's not new to me. That's the beauty of the game of basketball. That's the reason why you practice. That's the effort. So when you get to that moment, you don't have to think. Instinctively, things happen.
Jordan a drive. Hangs, fires, yes! The Bulls lead 87-86. Michael Jordan.
Yes, I'm always going to love the game. I'm always going to feel like, or keep people off guard by not knowing, I can still play the game if I choose to play the game. The game should be fun. I enjoy the game. I think the game brings out a lot of happiness and joy to me, and I try to express that in the way that I play. And the people that are watching, I like to give them that sense of enjoyment as well. So if I ever feel that I'm not playing the game for fun or enjoying the game, then I know it's time for me to quit. My love for the game goes from year to year. As I can continue to create my appetite and determination and certain goals for myself to achieve, then I'm gonna be playing. When you say that, never, you better be sure that, things are 100% that way. And I couldn't because of my love for the game, but I was pretty sure, when I left the game in '98, I was, pretty sure that I wouldn't come back to the game. 99.9% sure. Sports is a tool that teaches, and it teaches you bad things. It can also teach you good things. It's how you perceive those things. I've looked at every experience that I've had, negative and positive, and taken that as a positive. If I wouldn't change anything because I think it would alter some of the other things that happened. So when I look back, I can't say that I've had any bad things happen. Sure, you don't want bad things to happen, but you deal with bad things. You can't have good or without bad. People don't see that. People will never understand that to be success. All they think about, well, he batted .202, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. But the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
And you still want to do that as a pro when you leave basketball?
Yeah, I do. A lot of people say I couldn't do it, which is more energy for me to try to do it. It just drives me when people say I can't do anything. That means I'm gonna certainly try to achieve it even harder. My biggest motivation in life, is to compete, find different competitions in certain things in life and try to overcome that, be it positive or negative. But I have yet to meet someone who is as competitive as me, and I just feel that much confident about my competitive drive. I just think that I have the habits of working hard. I always been taught that to reach a goal that in life that you want, you have to work hard to get to it. And so far, I just, have that in mind.
Winning has a price, and leadership has a price. So I pulled people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged. Once you join the team, you live at a certain standard that I played the game, and I wasn't going to take any less. Now, that means I had to go in there and get in your ass a little bit, and I did that. You asked all my teammates? The one thing about Michael Jordan was he never asked me to do something that he didn't fucking do. I wanted to win, but I wanted them to win and be a part of that as well. Like, I don't have to do this. I'm only doing it because it is who I am. That's how I played the game. That was my mentality. If you don't want to play that way, don't play that way.
When we can learn from people who have achieved great level of success, and the phrase stand on shoulders giant. So for example, you've just watched a series of what make this person great. Now, if you adopt these same behaviors, some may work for you, some may not. But the series and other videos that we share will hopefully help you achieve levels of greatness in your life. Adopting behaviors that successful people do will only help you out achieve more. You can take some and you can drop some. You don't have to do them all. Some may work for you, some may not. So hopefully you learn from these behaviors, you start adapting some to your life. I get to create a video about what makes you great in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate you watching these videos. Thank you.